It's time again for the Science Bowl.
Zoo Parade for 5. What big teeth the hippo has are actually a pair of these. Science Potpourri for 10. Would a snake most likely eat every day? Every week, Dateline Science for 10. Why are some elephants wearing necklaces these days? Green things for 15.
And now, here's your host, Mr. Z himself, Dave Zarin.
Thank you and welcome to the Science Bowl today. Two outstanding elementary schools to play our game. Let's meet them right now. Let's go over to Mother Jones Elementary and say hello to our contestants, Glenn David Felice, Christopher Sanchez, and Sine Karishi. And from Turning Point Academy, we welcome our players, Talawani Roberts, Jordan Griffith, and Maxwell Morris. And now here are the categories of questions we use on Science Bowl.
Okay, Mr. Z, here's today's categories. Green things, questions about plants and all things green and growing. Zoo Parade, a Noah's Ark of questions about animals. Body systems, we'll see how much you know about yourself, about things like breathing and growing and digesting your food. Let's get physical. Questions that test your knowledge of physics and chemistry, earth science and space science. Then there's Science Potpourri. Here's a grab bag of science questions, everything from air pollution to the kitchen sink. And finally, Dateline Science. We'll ask you about science history and science in the news.
Here on Science Bowl, we arrange our game board according to the difficulty of the questions, with the tougher questions on the left worth 5 and 10 points, and the more difficult ones worth 15, 20, and ultimately 25, the toughest question of them all. We start our teams out at 50 points apiece. No penalties ever for incorrect answers. At the end of the 2 rounds, one of these 2 great teams will come back to play our game, possibly advancing to the semifinals. Let's go over and make sure everything works properly. Christopher, would you try your buzzer for me? Thank you, young man. Good luck to you, to Glenn David, and to Sine. And Jordan, would you try yours? Thank you. Good luck to you, to Maxwell, and to Talawani. Are we ready to play?
Yes.
All right. We are so happy to have you guys here. Let's have a great game. To go first, we go alphabetically, M before T. So Mother Jones, Christopher, let's play the Science Bowl. Give me a category and a number.
Let's get physical for 5, please.
Let's get physical for 5 points. Teams, in mythology, the Gorgon Medusa was so awful looking she had snakes for hair that she could literally petrify people. She would turn them into what? Turning point.
Stone.
Stone, that's right. Petrification, turning into stone. Go green.
Body systems for 15.
Body systems for 15 points. Teams, the blind spot at the back of your eye has another name. It is known as this kind of... Mother Jones. Yes, sir.
The cornea?
Not the cornea. Good try. Turning point, the blind spot at the back of your eye where you can see nothing, has another name. It is a disc that is named for what nerve that connects the eye to the brain? What do you think, guys?
Pupil?
Not pupil, good try. It's called the optic nerve. The optic nerve, and another name for the blind spot is the optic disc. Try again, green. Jordan?
Dateline Science for 15.
Dateline for 15 points. Teams, your question is as follows. Recently, some road crews here in Washington used the wrong substance to treat roads they thought were going to freeze. They used magnesium chloride instead of sodium chloride. But both are really different kinds of what chemical? Mother Jones. Different kinds of what, Chris?
Chloride?
Not chloride. No, I had that in. I said magnesium chloride and sodium chloride are both different kinds of what chemical? Turning point?
Acid.
Salt. Salt. Sodium chloride is salt. Magnesium chloride is salt. Okay, Jordan, you pick another one. Go, Jordan. You make the decision.
Let's get physical for 15.
Get physical for 15 points. Teams, they use the metal tungsten to make that little filament that you find in an incandescent light bulb. They do so because that metal has the highest what point. It gets very, very hot before it will do what? Mother Jones.
Melt.
Melt. That's exactly what I want to hear. The highest melting point. So now I thank you for your assist on that. Go red. Christopher, you pick.
Green things for 10, please.
Green things for 10 points. It's changed this holiday. Now you can call up Target or Walmart and they will put one of these green things in a box, a fir or a spruce, and send it to your house. What are you going to get, Christopher?
A tree.
A tree. You're going to get yourself a Christmas tree. You didn't have to go out into the lot and get all cold and cut it down yourself. It comes in a box. Go red.
Zoo parade for 5.
Zoo parade for 5 points. Teams, Warner Brothers did this canine a disservice. Christopher.
Dalmatians?
What do you think, Chris?
Dalmatian?
Not a Dalmatian. I was going to tell you more. Turning Point, Zoo Parade for 5 points. Warner Brothers did this canine a disservice. This Wile T. character was portrayed as kind of bumbling, always losing out to the Roadrunner. Come on, guys. The Coyote. The Coyote. The Roadrunner and the Coyote. Wile T. Coyote. Okay. Try red. Go.
Body system for 5, please.
Body assistance for 5 points. Teams, what aural sense organ, A-U-R-A-L, what aural sense organ did the artist Vincent van Gogh famously cut off? Turning Point.
His ear.
His ear, that's right. Yes, he was a bit mad. That certainly confirmed it. All right, got up to 60. 75 Mother Jones. Go Jordan.
Dateline signs for 10.
Dateline for 10 points. Teams, during December, the month of December, one of the most spectacular astronomical events is the Geminid meteor shower. Like all meteor showers, what kinds of stars do we call them? Turning Point.
Shooting stars.
Shooting stars, that's right. All right, thank you, Talawani. Go, green.
Oh.
Come on, Jordan, you choose.
Body systems for 10.
Body systems for 10 points. Teams, wolves and human vampires have fangs, which are these kind of teeth that are lengthened, Mother Jones.
Canine?
Canines, that's right. Some very well-developed canines. If you watch True Blood or those Twilight movies, you know all about that. Our buzzer has rung. We've come to the end of the first round. Our score, Mother Jones 85, Turning Point 70. We'll be back in just a moment. Don't go away. And welcome back to Science Bowl. You just saw 2 great teams there. Let's go over and find out about each of our individual players, find out a little bit about them and their schools. Let's go to Mary Harris Mother Jones Elementary School over there in Adelphi. I remember when that school was dedicated. You're relatively new over there. Who's your principal, Christopher?
Miss Harriday. Miss Elizabeth Harriday.
Absolutely. She's a great principal. And who's the sponsor of your team?
Miss Taylor.
Miss Taylor, and she always sends us wonderful students, and you 3 are no exception. Chris, did you have any alternates on your team?
Yes. Some friends of mine, Adam, Melissa, and Amy, but Amy couldn't come today.
We're sorry about that, Chris, and I'm glad to hear they're friends of yours, and we're going to bring them out, everybody, at the end so that everyone can meet them. What do you like about Mother Jones? What's your favorite thing about that school?
Well, our PE teachers, they're pretty nice, and they always give us games that are pretty, how should I call it, amazing. They're very creative.
That's an interesting point, because school is about academics, but it's also about developing the whole person. And you need phys ed, you need some exercise, and if you can do things differently than just playing dodgeball or running laps, it makes all the difference. I can see why you chose that as a high point. You're wearing a sash there. You're a school patrol, are you, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and where's your station?
Well, we don't really have a station, but our like, how should I say, our teachers of patrol are also our PE teachers, Mr. Clapper and Mr. Hurd, and they give us these badges if you do a good job in school in your academics, and you get promoted every quarter if you get good grades and behave good.
That's great. Well, congratulations on being chosen. And Chris, when you grow up, what do you want to do?
I want to be a journalist.
A journalist, all right. We're going to look for your byline someday. So now you've come up with a couple good answers already. How do you know so much about science?
Since I have a last time experience last year, I decided that I would study more so that I would improve for this year.
And it shows. It really does show. Now, you told me being on TV is kind of nerve-wracking because you worry about all those people out there watching. And they are all sitting there admiring you, saying, boy, that young guy, he knows an awful lot. It's a lot of pressure to be under, but you handle it real well. What do you do in your spare time?
I usually like reading or playing Pokemon cards.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And you want to go to college someday, right? That should be no problem for you. Glenn David, young man who writes poetry, plays soccer, wants to be a football player. You got a lot going on in your life, and you like to read too, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah. What's your favorite sport?
Football.
Football. And you have a favorite team, don't you?
Yes.
The Saints. Yeah, we were talking about that. Drew Brees, about what a great quarterback he is and whether they'll repeat as Super Bowl champion. Tell me why you wanted to be on Science Bowl.
Well, I wanted to bring some honor to my school, and I also wanted to see how it felt to compete and to be on television.
You're such an articulate young man, and you've already brought a lot of honor to your school. You're doing a nice job here today. Let's go over to Turning Point Academy, one of the charter schools here in Prince George's County. We welcome Talawani and Jordan and Maxwell. Jordan, you guys are dressed so nicely. Is that the school uniform you're modeling over there? Yes. Absolutely. You look good. Tell me who your principal or your headmaster is.
Our principal is Dr. Jones.
Yes, and the sponsor of your team?
Mr. Triggs.
Yes, and he is out there. He's been so anxious to get you guys on. You were here last year. We're so happy to welcome you back again. And I know you had some co-sponsors as well, didn't you?
Yes, Mrs. Weaver and Miss Roberts, but she wasn't able to come.
That's all right, but we appreciate the work that she did. We'll bring those sponsors out in a few moments so you can all meet them. Did you have any alternates on your team?
Yes, we have Victoria Chumba, Urena Marcellus, and Ari Osulana.
Wonderful, and we'll meet all of them in a few moments. Jordan, tell me about your plans. What do you want to do when you get older?
I wanted to become a surgeon because I like the body, like different systems. And in my spare time, I wanted to be a chef.
A chef. Wow. Well, you know, being a chef takes a lot of science, and certainly being a surgeon, that's all science, and it's going to be a lot of education. But you're a dedicated young man, I can tell, and I know you're going to be successful, whatever you choose. Maxwell, nice to have you here. Tell me what you do in your spare time.
In my spare time, I like to read and play video games.
What kind of books you like?
I like comedy books.
Comedy books, all right. And what do you want to do when you get older?
I want to be an athlete.
Yeah, what sport?
Well, I want to be a track and field runner and a swimmer. I can't seem to choose which one.
You have plenty of time to choose, and a lot of times people change. And you know, sometimes you get like Bo Jackson. I think he played multiple sports, so you don't have to choose. Sometimes you can do it all. Talawani, nice to have you here with us. Tell us about yourself. What do you want to do someday?
I would also like to be a journalist when I grow up.
Yeah, now I was talking to Chris earlier, and he wants to be a print journalist, but you want to do something different.
I would like to be the people that sit on television and tell the news that what's happening around.
You have a nice presence. I can see you on television. You got a great smile, and you're engaging, and that's just what you need if you want to be a television personality. So good luck to you. Let's get back to our game. 85 for Mother Jones, 70 for Turning Point. Lots of points give away. Red, you gave me the last correct answer. So Chris, start us out.
Science potpourri for 5, please.
Potpourri for 5 points, teams. If you are a bad boy or girl this Christmas, Santa's going to give you a lump of this anthracite. Turning Point.
Coal.
Coal, that's right. A lump of what fossil fuel? You get coal in your stocking. Go, green.
Body systems for 20.
Body systems for 20 points. A multiple choice question, teams. The late Dr. Chance came up with a device whereby he could look inside the body to find out what was wrong with it without cutting it open. Is that device, I was going to give you some choices. What is it, Chris?
X-ray.
Not an X-ray. Good try. I like that. Which of these is a non-invasive diagnostic tool? An oscilloscope, an altimeter, or a spectroscope? Which of those 3, Turning Point?
Spectroscope.
Spectroscope is the device. That's what I want to hear. Good. Go. Green. You have a 10-point lead. Jordan, you choose.
Zoo parade for 10.
Zoo parade for 10-point teams. When animals live in groups, those groups are given names, like lions live in prides and whales live in pods. But if you had a group of ungulates like zebra or giraffe or cows, they live in a what? Turning Point.
A herd.
A herd, that's right. A herd of zebra, a herd of giraffe, herd of cow. Let's go green.
Green things for 15.
Green things for 15 points, teams. Asparagus is a herbaceous stem that dies out every year, but the root lives on, and every year you get new asparagus, making asparagus what kind of plant that comes back? Mother Jones? What do you call those kinds of plants? Yes, sir?
Deciduous.
Not deciduous. Good try. Turning point. A plant that comes back year after year after year because the underground part continues to survive is known as a what, Jordan?
Evergreen.
Good try. Perennial. A perennial. A perennial comes back year after year. An annual lives just 1 year. Green, please.
Let's get physical for 10.
Let's get physical for 10 points. Teams, what chemical element with the symbol PB is toxic to human beings, but at one time was found in paint and pipes and gasoline? It has since been removed. Chris? Yes, sir.
Can I let Sanai answer?
Absolutely. What is it, sir?
Floridium.
What is it?
Platinum.
Not platinum. Good try. The chemical element symbol PB, toxic to human beings, and yet it was found in paint and piping at one time, even gasoline, since been removed. What do you think, guys?
Petroleum.
Lead. Lead pipe. Lead in gasoline. Lead paint. Try your green. Go. Come on, Jordan, you pick.
Science potpourri for 10.
Potpourri for 10 points. Teams, apparently the ancient Romans took their glassware when they were finished using them, and then they would melt them down and then reform them to make new glasses. Who knew back then they were doing what process that we do today, Christopher? What's that called?
Recycling.
That's what I want to hear. They were recycling their glassware. All right, Red, go. Chris.
Green things for 5, please.
Green things for 5 points. Teams, if you study, winning the Science Bowl is as easy as falling off one of these fallen trees. Turning point. As easy as falling off a what, Jordan?
Redwood tree?
Not a redwood, no. It's as easy as falling off a what? Falling off what kind of fallen tree? It's that easy. Falling off a log. Falling off a log. Try again, Red. Go.
Dateline science for 5, please.
Dateline for 5 points, teams. This is pretty strange, but this Christmas you can get as a pet President Obama, President Washington.
Turkey.
Turkey? No, not turkey. Turning point this Christmas, you can get as a pet President Obama, President Washington, President Lincoln, if you spread these kinds of seeds all over their heads. What do you think, Turning Point?
Grass seeds?
Chia pets. Chia pets. You've seen them on TV. It looks like Obama's got a big green afro when the thing starts to grow out. Try again, Red.
Science potpourri for 5, please. 15. Sorry.
Potpourri for 15 points. Look at the monitor in the studio, please, if you would, for this question. Teams, this is the so-called Lady Gaga of the dinosaur world. This is called a Comoceratops. It has 15 horns. I'll give you the points if you can tell me how many more horns it has than a Triceratops. Math
12.
answer, Mother Jones.
12.
12, good, go.
Zoo parade for 15, please.
Zoo parade, 15 points. Your question is as follows. Teams, infanticide is practiced by some animals, like lions and hippos and fish. In infanticide, who does what to whom? All right. Turning Point says they've got an idea. Who does what to whom, Jordan? Yes, sir.
They eat them?
Who? Who's who? Be specific. Who's doing what to whom? You don't know? All right. Mother Jones, can you help us out? Infanticide, practiced by some animals like lions and hippos and fish. It involves who doing what to whom. Adults are killing the children. Adults are killing the children. Go red.
Zoo parade for 20, please.
Zoo parade for 20 points. Multiple choice question. Teams in Africa, warthogs will sometimes approach a group of mongooses and lay down and let the mongooses crawl all over them to eat any kind of ticks or parasites. Is that called parasitism, commensalism, or symbiosis? Which of those three? Mother Jones, which one?
Symbiosis.
That's what I want to hear. Good. Go red. Pick.
Green things for 20.
Green things for 20 points. Teams, another multiple choice question. Teams, if you're transplanting a plant, moving it from one place to another, the advice is first you should prune the roots, trim them, and then to keep the plant from losing too much water, take off the excess leaves because those extra leaves will respire, photosynthesize, or transpire too much water. Mother Jones.
Transpire.
Transpire. Good. Red.
Green things for 25.
Green things for 25. Big one in that category. Who'd have thunk it? In the middle of winter, there's snow all over the ground, and someone's out there throwing grass seed.
Johnny Appleseed?
Not Johnny Appleseed. Turning point. Who would have thunk it in the middle of winter? You go outside, there's snow all over the ground, you're throwing grass seed. It's not so dumb, because the moisture in the snow will help the grass seeds to do what? I need a specific term. Turning point.
It'll help them grow.
I need the word. What's the word? It will help the seeds to do what?
Fertilize.
Germinate. Germinate. Go red.
Let's get physical for 20.
Let's get physical for 20 points. Multiple choice question. Teams, if you take a pencil and put it in a glass of water, it looks bent because light travels at a different speed as it goes through different media. Is that bent pencil an example of dispersion, reflection, or refraction? Turning point.
Refraction.
That's what I want to hear. Good. Go. Green. Jordan, you pick.
Dateline signs for 20.
Dateline for 20 points. Two-part answer. The astronomer Copernicus was the first astronomer to tell us that the Earth went around the sun and not the reverse, and that the Earth spins on an axis. Turning point. You rang in. I hadn't asked the question. What do you want to tell me? Yes, sir.
Orbits.
Not orbit. Good try. Mother Jones, two-part answer. Copernicus says the Earth goes around the sun and the Earth spins on its axis. What two words describe those two processes?
Revolution.
And?
Revolve.
Ooh, revolve is... Do we get that, judges? Not quite. Revolution and rotation were the two. All right, good try. The buzzer has rung. That means our game is over. We'll be back with a wrap-up in just a moment. Don't go away. Welcome back to Science Bowl. We hope you enjoyed this game at home as much as we did in the studio. Hope you could keep up with these very talented young people. We are proud of all of them. The score was close. They are all winners, but one team is coming back. Our final tally today is Turning Point 125, Mother Jones 150. Congratulations, Glenn David and Christopher and Sinai. You did a nice job. You really came back at the end there. Miss Taylor, congratulations to you. And the two alternates, they're smiling back there, Melissa and Adam. You played a nice game, too, just by being here. Turning Point, let's see some smiles over there, you guys. Not only do you look good, you're smart, and you're good looking, too. We're going to see Talawani when she's a news anchor. We've got a surgeon, Jordan, and Maxwell. You're going to be an athlete, whatever you choose to do. And look at all the alternates back there, too. Elena, Ari, Victoria, Mrs. Weaver, and Mr. Triggs, thank you for being part of our game. Always good to have you here. Good to have you with us. See you next time on Science Bowl. Bye-bye.